Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to be reviewing Love and Marriage DC Season 1, Episode 4. So the episode opens up with Irena and Jamie, and Irena is taking Jamie out on a run. She seems very athletic, very fit, and he does too, but he's not really a runner. So they start to discuss what happened. I believe it was the night before with the Monique and Chris dinner. And Jamie's pretty upset, or I don't want to say he's pretty upset, but Jamie is a little perturbed with his wife for sharing some information in regards to his potential infidelity because he's never been caught, according to Irena. And my thing is, listen, they're married. She felt comfortable sharing what she shared, which is not much of anything. Nobody, in my opinion, walked away feeling like, hey, girl, did you hear about what she said about? None of them did that. So I don't think it was that detrimental. But I can kind of understand oversharing some things. But I really, in that moment, I didn't feel like she was oversharing. And my thing is, as far as Jamie is concerned, if you never did anything, then there's nothing for her to discuss in that way. So get over yourself. I did not like at the dinner how he kind of like put his hand in her face and basically told her to shut up. That's not cool. Same with Chris. Wasn't feeling that at all. Talking to your wife that way, but if that's how y'all get down, that's how y'all get down. I perceive Jamie as someone who tries to hold a lot of authority over his family, especially, definitely over his family. And I feel like I don't know, he's a little rude to his wife at times. I've been looking like, dude, like, I don't think I could be with it takes a special type of woman to be with somebody like that. I'm not liking him as a husband all that much. But again, I'm not married to him, so it don't really matter. But what he's portrayed so far, I'm not really feeling him. I feel like he probably has stepped out on his marriage. If you think that your spouse has cheated, there's a reason why you think that, right? So he probably has stepped out on his wife. I don't know how frequent it's been or when the last time he did what he did, but he's going back into this world of being a DJ and stuff like that. So to me, that's going to open up some more can of worms that might make her feel a certain type of way. He's a very handsome looking man, and you can see that he has that confidence. He walks around with that type of confidence. So I could see where she might, not want him to get back into that way, that business again. I love Irena. I think that Irena is so mature, sophisticated, well-dressed, well-versed. I really enjoy her. She has her stuff together. She's not here for the shenanigans. She's not here for the BS. I really enjoy her. She's basically trying to push Jamie to have more conversation with little Jamie and their son Jason. And I can respect that. He is their father. There's things that she sees as a mother that she would like for them to sit down and to discuss, especially because she never had that relationship with her father. She does explain that her father was incarcerated. I feel like Jamie, he does have that old school mentality as far as it relates to how he is dealing with his children, but I think it's too much for his kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe that would work for another type of child, but for his children, they seem, from what I've been watching, a little bit that I've seen of them this season, they seem like they really want more like a dad that's gonna sit them down, talk to them, praise them when they're doing well. Of course, let them know when they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing, but not this, like, if you do something, I'm not talking to you for months on end. Like, I don't think that his kids really want that. And I feel like, just looking at little Jamie, I think that he's really trying to make his father proud. And I think that the weight of trying to make his father proud is too heavy for him. That's just what I'm seeing. I'm no expert or anything like that. I'm just giving y'all what I'm seeing. So then we have Monique and Chris, and they're getting ready to go on their trip to Africa. And here they go again with their disagreements and the problems that they're having in their marriage. I'm confused by what the issue is. Monique is throwing around this whole, I don't know you, I want to get to know you. Girl, how you been married to this man for 10 years and you saying you don't know him? Now, I've been with my husband for 10 years, and I can say I know him. I know his tendencies. I know the things that he likes. I know the things that he doesn't like. I know him. Yes, people change over time, and you're always going to be, as TD Jakes says, a student of the person that you love. But I think she should probably use a different way to get that thought across, or that issue that she's having, than saying, I don't know you. And that song goes, if you don't know me by now, you never gonna know me, girl. If you don't know him by now, you ain't never gonna know him. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So, and then I'm also confused by the fact that she'll sit down with Ashley and she'll say she wants him to be more hands-on with the kids, to the point where she doesn't need to have other people come in and help. But then with him, it's like, I want you to be more romantic. So what is it that you're looking for? The way I see Chris is, I think that he's worked hard his whole life to get to where he is athletically, taking care of his body, and just working his way to getting to the NFL and having what a lot of people say, I don't know, I never followed his career, but like a very successful career. And he's at the point now where he's retired and he just wants to relax, chill, and enjoy the fruits of his labor. I don't see him as a bad husband. I don't see him as a bad father. So, and I don't think Monique is trying, she's not saying that he is, but what she gives off suggests that she believes that's what, that he's not, to her standard, of a good father, a good husband. I heard her talk about being a provider, a protector. I've seen him provide. I've seen him protect his wife against things that fans might have said, or things that castmates from that other show that she refers to might have said. So those two things, I'm not catching where you're coming from. I guess he could do more in the romantic department. And he's alluded to the fact that he doesn't want to lose his wife, so he's going to have to step it up. But I'm confused by their marital issues from the outside looking in, and from what she's been able to share. I don't know, Monique. I don't know. I think Monique is the type of person who, like, she'll be like, I planned this trip to Africa. I did this, I did that. And when you say that and you throw that in somebody's face all the time, then you're diminishing what they bring to the table. So you're saying that you do these things and he pretty much does nothing. Do you find him to be lazy? Like, what is your issue? And again, with the whole going to your friends trying to get advice, girl, y'all need, from the way that you guys are being portrayed on the show, you guys need extensive therapy, okay? And you need to be able to express yourself to your spouse and be clear on what it is that you're not getting out of the relationship. Another thing that I didn't quite like, being a wife, being a mom myself, those type of discussions that they were having in the kitchen are not discussions I would want to have in front of my children. Those are more discussions that you and your spouse have on the side. So I didn't really care for that. I will also say that if there are things that she wants him to do, and she says that he's not a doer, like she has to do everything. If there are things, if you want him to be a certain type, I don't want to say if you want him to be a certain type of way, but let me tell you, if I was married to him and some of the concerns that she brought up, I would be like this. I would plan a little date night like she did for the other couples. Everybody, let's come together. Let me put out this nice spread, and it'll just be you and I, and we're going to sit at the table, and I'm going to ask you questions, and that's going to be your time to answer the questions that I'm asking you. Like I'm saying, set apart some time between just you and him. You have to do it, because if you feel like he's not going to do it, then it's going to be on you to do. Set that time apart and y'all converse and try to get to a middle ground or a happier place. That would be my opinion. I don't know if she's tried that before, but try that, girl, because you expecting him to just be somebody that he's not. I was listening to another interview that she did with someone, and she was basically saying like he was always had somebody do stuff for him. He's never worked. He's always been the type of person that allowed people to tell him what to do. So he's not, from what you're saying and what I'm hearing, is that he's not a take charge type of person. He's not a natural leader in that sense. So you being his wife, his spouse, his helpmate, you're going to have to bring him along and be like, you're going to have to create a space where you can kind of have a dialogue with him and pick his brain. Like you sitting at a kitchen table just randomly and having this conversation is not, he's not going to respond to that. Maybe set an atmosphere, like I said, make it seem like it's a date night or something like that, and really try to iron out these issues. I don't know. Just a suggestion. So then we have Winter meeting with her mom, and Winter, I like Winter. I think that she's okay. I'm still getting to know her, obviously through the TV, but um, I think that there's a little bit more to this story with her and Kevin than she's letting on. I guess, given her history, I can understand why she was like, oh no, I'm done with you. But I feel like there's a little bit more to just him stealing company money. Like there has to be some more stuff to that. I'm feeling like I'm not getting the full story is what I'm basically saying. I'm not getting the full story. I don't know how she never went to his house or um didn't know certain things about him, even if you blame it on COVID. Like maybe you should have waited to marry him to get, well, I don't even want to say maybe, you should have waited to marry him and seen certain things, like kind of vetted the guy a little bit more. With Winter, she's meeting with her mom at the house and they discuss Kevin, and I feel like I'm not getting the full story. Like, what did she marry the man for? What did she see? What was he presenting to her that made her say, okay, I want to marry you, without ever knowing where he lived or what he, like what he was driving or his situation? I just believe that she's old enough to know better. And but at the same time, just seeing her talk to her mom and stuff like that, there's a part of me that definitely is looking at her like, girl, you a little gully. You a little gully. She's giving me a little bit gully, so I could kind of understand from that point of view. I'm not saying that she's not smart or anything, but I feel like maybe she falls for things a little too easy. And so that's the vibe that I'm getting from her. I just, there's some questions that I still have, even with him sitting down and talking to Chris. I definitely didn't feel like we were getting the full story from him. And I still don't feel like she's conveying the full story either. So we'll have to see how this continues to develop. So we have Arena and Ashley going. Basically, Ashley has invited Raina to go with her to get Botox. Arena doesn't know what she's going to be. So basically, Arena and Ashley get together. Ashley's going to get Botox, and she brings Arena along. They have a discussion about what happened with Ashley and Winter. And Arena basically tells her, Winter felt attacked and she felt like you were coming on a little too harsh on her and stuff like that. And Ashley is defending herself, saying, no, I was just asking questions because I'm finding it hard to believe that this woman didn't basically do a background check on this man and get to know. And basically, Winter doesn't feel like she was coming on harsh. She was just asking questions that she wanted answers to, which I understand. I understand. What's the girl's name? Ashley asking questions the way that she was asking, because of course, as a fan or as somebody viewing the show, these are questions that I have as well. It's not, yes. Okay, hold on. It's not so much the questions that she was. My problem is not the questions that were being asked. My problem is the way that she was asking the questions, her delivery. It was just mean girl. I feel like Ashley is a mean girl. That's just my opinion. She came on the show and she was saying, I'm not a mean girl. When you have to specifically say that, to me, that suggests that you are. Ashley says that Winter should admit that she got. I totally agree with that. But maybe she's just not at that stage in the process. I think she's still, because the divorce is still happening, everything is still fresh and new. She's not at that point yet. She's not thinking clearly, in my opinion. So we'll have to see. But I just think, like I said, Ashley did kind of come across as, I don't want to say attacking, but just too harsh, especially with somebody that you don't know. I would think that you would be a little bit more delicate with someone that you don't know as you're trying to get to know them. And I almost kind of feel like, girl, is there something happening behind the scenes that we're not privy to? Because you are definitely coming at this woman very judgmental, which I know we all are judgmental people, but dag on, let her come up from some air a little bit. So Jamie has planned this guy's night out where he and his sons are going to meet with Quick and his son, and they're going to the gym. And I have to say, I really respect Quick a lot for the work that he's doing with children, his whole DJ school. I think that it's a great thing. It's very admirable, and it definitely made me look at him a little, differently when you're doing that type of work. And it seems that he's very passionate with what he's doing. So big ups to him. Jamie basically has Quick talk to his son Jason, and he's telling Quick that Jason wants to be a DJ. So once Quick talks to Jason, it seems like he picked up right on the fact that Jason might not want to really be a DJ. More so, Jamie wants him to be a DJ. And Quick is basically saying in his confessional that if the father is pushing him to do this, Jason is not really going to enjoy it. And we all know, like, if your parents push you to do something you don't want to do, it's 9 times out of 10 not going to be something that you enjoy doing. So I totally agree with Quick on that. And next, Quick meets with little Jamie and just basically tells him a little bit of his life story, how he was shot and paralyzed for 9 months at the age of 13, which is crazy. And he's basically just trying to tell him, listen, your father loves you. You need to go down a different path. I'm not here to judge you or anything like that. I just want to talk to you and let you know certain things. And again, that was just an admirable moment that Quick had, that just completely, is what you want to see. One black man tell another younger black man when he sees that potentially this younger person is going in the wrong direction. So my hope is that that conversation really does help little Jamie get himself together, because little Jamie does say that he looks up to Quick. So let's see what happens with that. But I'm hoping that that is the start of something different. And I have respect for Big Jamie too, because you know what? Sometimes when you have children and you're always on them, they don't want to hear what you have to say. It sometimes can take hearing the same thing from somebody else and it be totally different than hearing it from you in a positive way. So it was good that he saw, like, let me have Quick sit down and talk to him, opposed to me continuing to try to lecture him, if you know what I mean. So next we have Winter trying to get together with Ashley and Arena, and I forgot the other woman's name. So y'all forgive me, but the other woman as well. I don't know how else to introduce her, but her as well. So they have this sit down, and Winter's whole point of view is let me try to get to know her and let me see if I get a different vibe from her than the vibe that I was getting the other night. I thought it was interesting that Winter says that Ashley was in business that she had no business in. She was just commenting on the conversation that was being had. I'm sure everybody has an opinion about what Winter was sharing. She was the one that just said exactly what she was feeling at the time. Again, I don't agree with the delivery, but I can respect a woman who's going to let you know what's on their mind. It's just, girl, find a different way to convey how you feel. So I feel like Ashley also presents a little you're here and I'm here type of thing, because she's like, I'm only friends with friends like me, or friends that I can do certain things with. And I'm just like, girl, you're just friends with yourself? Like all the women that you hang out with is exactly like you? That's interesting to say the least. So Ashley is basically saying that she doesn't consider Winter to be a friend, and I wouldn't consider her to be a friend either, because you don't know this woman and this woman doesn't know you. So somehow Winter says, well, do you consider Irena to be a friend? And Ashley thinks about it for a moment and she's like, no, we're getting to that place. And at first, as a viewer, I'm like, girl, you went to Botox with this woman. Like, you took your clothes off in front of this woman. You're not friends with her? And then when I thought about the show and listening to Monique talk beforehand about the show and saying that these are people that are acquaintances that they're bringing together, I quickly changed my point of view of that. And the fact that Arena didn't get offended with that either. At first, I think she was just like, what? But she knows they're not on that level. So, okay, I'll give you that, girl. I thought it was very, Ashley, like I said, another way that she's such a little mean girl is like, she's like to Irena, girl, I ain't never been to your house. For all I know, it could be a basement or something like that, she said. And I'm just like, why you got to do that? Why, Ashley? So basically, Ashley and Winter go back and forth about what Ashley had to say to Winter, and Ashley basically apologizes for how she said it, how, in terms of like Winter feeling judged. And she said, this is the first and the last time I'm gonna basically say this to you. And I mean, I don't think there's any hope for a friendship between these two women. I think it is what it is. Like I said, and I stand by this, I feel like Ashley's delivery was off. What she was saying, I can understand why you would have those questions, but her delivery was off. Winter walks away from this whole thing like, listen, me and her are probably not going to be cool. I didn't really feel like we got anywhere that I would have liked to have gotten to. So she's basically just like, I'm done with her, which it is what it is. Hopefully they can coexist in this group together. We'll have to see. So that's basically my review, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye-bye.